Hello viewers, welcome. Today we are at Chekalini, Baharini area, and we are privileged to visit one of the retired principal. And on today's interview, we are going to venture into his life story that is going to give a connection to the people of the community and at large. Today, we are privileged as a team to come and learn and educate each other on a journey that has been fruitful to our honored retired principal. And at this moment, I want to take this opportunity to welcome our principal to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself. Thank you, Karibu Mwalimu.
Thank you. I'm called Kenneth Indusa, a retired head teacher or principal at Shandicha Secondary School. I was born 1964 and I retired. I started teaching at the age of 25. That's 1989, and retired after working for 27 years at the age of 52. I retired at the age of 52. I had worked for 27 years. And in the 27 years, I worked as an assistant teacher for around 15 years. I worked as a deputy for 2 years, and as a principal for 10 years. So it came to 27 years.
Thank you. It is evident that you've had an illustrious career in teaching and education. We would appreciate you take us through your beginnings. How was your childhood like? This is Chekalini, or is this the same place you were born and raised, or your history began elsewhere?
Yes. I was born in a place called Utiti in Hamisi district sub-county now.
Yes.
That is a bigger county.
Right.
At a place called Putiti. Putiti is near Shamahoho, for those who know Shamahoho.
We know it.
That's where I was born. I schooled in a primary school called Putiti. From standard 1 up to those days, we never used to go to nursery school. It was just so long as you could show your hand is touching the ear.
So that you are old enough.
You go to standard 1.
You were promoted to class 1.
Class 1.
Right.
And I never repeated. I schooled from standard 1 to standard 7. I did standard 7. I went to a school called Senende Secondary School or Secondary School.
Right.
Senende Secondary School is in Mrs. Steele.
Right.
After Form 4, I passed. I went to a A-level in a school called Rift Valley Technical High School in Eldoret.
Is it still under the same name?
It used to be among the technical schools which used to be there,
Right.
but it had a high level, a higher class from 5 and 6.
Right.
And I did maths, physics, and chemistry. And I cleared Form 6 1984, where I passed to go to Kenyatta University. I was there for 3 years. And I graduated in 1989 when I started teaching. In fact, we used to get letters for schools before even we cleared the last exams in college. So there was nothing like going to do an interview in a school.
Yeah, you had an easy way, getting into the job market.
Yes. We got letters before we cleared even the university.
Right.
You are given a letter to go to a given school 2 months, even 1 month before you clear the college. You could go and complain and say, I don't want that school. Can you change me to this school? And they could listen to you. Because teachers were still few.
There are very few.
Very few.
So a lot has changed between then and now.
Yeah. You could be sent to a school and say, no, I don't want this school, I want this one.
Right.
They could listen to you, or they really beg you to go to that school because they need you in that school.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
So maybe during your childhood era and up to when you go to college and trained as a teacher, as you grew up, was that your dream career? And maybe what could have inspired you most that one day when I grow up, I want to be a teacher?
In fact, I really admire to be a primary school teacher, not even a secondary school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like, we used to have teachers training teachers from Kaimos TTC coming to teach us as training teachers.
Right.
And they could come in tracksuits, and I could really admire to be like them. They could come with a bus, they are light in the morning, they are putting on tracksuits and all that. I could feel that they are looking very well, very good, and I felt that if I become a teacher, I just want to be a primary school teacher, not even a secondary school teacher, because my parents are not very educated. My father was just a standard 4 dropout, and my mother standard 3 dropout.
Yes.
So there was no much, we didn't have a role modeling when it comes to education in our family. And then, so seeing a teacher, we used to see a teacher like somebody who's very much educated. So I wish to just be a primary school teacher. Not even a secondary school teacher. Secondary came in just because I had gone to another level. But I wanted just to be a primary school teacher. Yeah.
Okay, it is too encouraging that you had a motivation just from the people who were around you, and you've told us that in your teaching era, you were doing math, chemistry.
I was teaching mathematics and chemistry.
Mathematics and chemistry. Okay, it is too encouraging. Then maybe from there, kindly, if you can tell us, after college, maybe you managed to have a family. How many kids do you have?
After college, as me, I married when I was still a student in college. That was after Form 6, we could go to teaching schools.
Right.
So I went to teach Chamakanga. I met there a girl also who had also done Form 6. And she had also come to teach. And we started a family. So we went to colleges when we were having a family.
Okay.
And we were blessed with the 2 children, a boy and a girl, whom we got when we were just still students. After starting to work, we never got another child. Those are the children we have. And they are also teachers like us. Right. They also have their families.
Meaning that you have again become a role model. They saw the best in a mother and in a father, and they saw like we should also just be teachers.
Teachers, yeah.
Okay, now in a teaching career, it is assumed that as a teacher you are like an administrator, or you are there. You can play a role of leadership, and maybe in your teaching career, how did you handle yourself as a leader, as maybe someone who is also aspiring that one day I will teach these children well and be a role model to them, so that as I retire, I'll be a point of reflection to somebody in life?
See, like when you are a teacher is you are just a leader, because when you go to that class to teach, you are guiding those students. They are learning so much even from you. I told you, me, I admire to be a teacher because of the teachers who are
from Kaimosi
College. Teachers who are on teaching practice. Just the way they were putting on, I could admire those tracksuits. The way also a teacher, when you go to school, you are, children learn a lot from you. They can know even when you are annoyed, when you are happy. They can read your moods, and sometimes they can know you. They can even predict what you want to do next, because they see you as somebody.
They learn to analyze patterns and behaviors.
Yeah, they just look at you and see, and because you are teaching them, and you teach them things which they had never known, so they have a lot of trust in you. So you are like they see you as a role model.
Okay.
So if you dress very well, some of them will admire to be like you. If you are not behaving very well, they'll start seeing that behavior in you, and they'll be wondering, is that the best way we can do our things, or something like that? So as a teacher, you have just to be organized. You do your things well. You are given responsibilities, like maybe you are a class teacher, so you have to manage that class. So you start from even a very low level, a class teacher, maybe a dormitory teacher, or head of maybe sports, games, and all that. So you lead those departments. As you lead those departments, you are just in leadership, because under those departments, there are things you have to organize as a person. But you are doing on behalf of the principal. In a school, maybe you don't know, in a school, the only teacher is the principal. These other ones are assisting the principal. You are assistants to the principal or the head teacher, something like that. That's why when something goes wrong even in school, even if a teacher makes a mistake, the first person who is responsible is the head teacher.
The head of the
head teacher. For example, you see, like now they have said you don't punish students.
Yeah.
Right.
When a teacher canes the student, maybe you injure the student, the child, the first person who is on the wrong is the head teacher, the principal, because you are doing on his behalf. Yes, you're doing on his behalf. So you do these things on behalf of the head teacher, and then therefore, even when students do very well, the first person to get the grade is the head teacher. When they perform very poorly, the first person to blame is what? The head teacher. Yeah. But you see, these other ones are assisting him.
Whatever good or bad outcomes they are first attributed to the leader, to the man at the top.
Yeah, because you are the one who gives the guidelines on how to go about it.
Right.
Okay, and then previously you told us that while in college, you were privileged to receive letters on assigning you to go to your workplaces. So kindly, maybe if you might take us through your career path since you received the letter and the schools you've taught. Maybe if you can educate us on that.
Me, I received my first posting letter. It was even 2 weeks before we cleared the college. I received a letter to go to a school called Chekalini Secondary School. Chekalini Secondary School, I had never known where it is, but they had said it was. We used to have a district called Elgeyo Marakwet. I think it should be the Marakwet side. And when we went there, I reported to that school. We were two. In fact, me with a roommate, we got letters to go to the same school.
Same location.
Me, I was called Indusa and he was called India. So we were wondering, maybe they looked at the names. So when we reached so we went together to the school. When we reached the school, it was in a bush, in a forest, very remote place. The other man, the other teacher told me, here I cannot report here. So we went and reported back. We said, we don't want to go to that school. Give us another school. They asked us, which school do you want? Me, I wanted to go to Nakuru High School. And this one wanted to go to Chichewayet Secondary School or something like that. So when we went there, we persisted. But me, I was convinced to go and start working. And I just went to teach. Okay. So when I went, I found there a principal called, who became a very senior person in this republic. It was called Masese. He had just been promoted to be the head of that school. And he welcomed me very well. So we were the only two teachers in that school, me and him. And he made me very happy in the school. The wife was teaching in a neighboring school called Chebara Secondary School. And now, so we were staying with him in that school, but if on Friday he goes to Chebara, and he leaves me with the school.
Yes.
When my wife also cleared the training, those days, if you are married and you clear, they could ask you, where is your husband? So that you are sent where your husband is. Yeah. So I insisted he should not come to my school. She should go to the school where this man had the wife. That's Chebara, so that I could have a house there.
Right.
Unfortunately, She was dropped in that school, that is Chabara Secondary School. It's a big school. I was given a house, where my principal was staying on one wing and we were on the same building. But it had two wings, two houses. So we stayed in one, and so it was like, so every Friday we go, on Monday we come. So we were just doing like that. I stayed in that school for 10 years. I asked for transfer. I was posted to Maturu Secondary School after 10 years. And Maturu, if you remember the time we had a bomb blast in TSC, that's when I had received a letter to go to Maturu.
Was it in 1998?
98, 90, yeah, something like that. So at that place, at Maturu, I stayed. I came there as a deputy. They had promoted me to come as a deputy. But when I came as a deputy, I found out that 3 teachers there had been promoted. 2 other teachers had been promoted. So we were 3 deputies. So 2 were to leave. And me, I requested, it's not necessarily I be a deputy. I can even be a head of department, science. So I was given head of department science at Maturu. I taught there for 2 years. And then they got for me a school to go to be a deputy. That is Mautuma Secondary School.
Right.
I was in Mautuma for 2 years. Then I was promoted to come and head Shandiche, to start a school, Shandiche Secondary School. Shandiche is just here. I started with the 60 students, Form 1 and Form 2. And then after some time, what I did was that I just introduced break time tea, which was not in any other school
Any other
here.
schools around?
Yeah. So when other students heard of it, so many students left their schools to transfer to Shandiche Secondary
You are
School.
motivating them. Eh?
In a very short time, I had over 400 students. In a very short time, I introduced tea, break time, and we were eating meat. Students were eating meat, ugali and meat on Wednesday. Students left Akina Chekalini, Silungai boys to come to
Shandiche.
Why? Because the children eat very well there. So the school, after a very short time, it fell. If you remember, during that, I left when the school had over 800 students.
800.
So by then, when you found the small number, you said 60. They
60.
were day schooling or boarding?
It was a day school, just a day school.
Okay.
It's me who finally made it boarding.
Boarding school. Okay.
But what motivated most students to come, it was not the results. It was just food.
No, the spirit of just being a student at Shandiche.
Yes. I just introduced tea, break time tea. In fact, some heads now came to my school to ask, how do you start tea? How do you get the money for tea? I told them it was very simple. There are some parents who have milk. I told them you can pay fees using what? Milk. And so you just use that and get some tea leaves, make for them tea. And when the students come, it becomes easier now. The more they are, the more money. The more money. So that's how it was. And meat, I could encourage parents to pay. If even you have a cow and you have nowhere to sell, you can bring to the school. So I could exchange with the butcherman. Tell him, okay, this one will. That's how it was.
Okay. It's a very interesting story, journey of your career path. And along the path, did you ever have an interest of maybe vying for positions in the CUPET or NAT bodies of the Teacher Service Commissions?
Very good. Yeah, that one, it was, I was very much interested in cooperative. That's our teachers cooperative, Mwalimu Cooperative Society. It is a circle.
Right.
A circle. This is the savings of teachers. We have branches where our branch was called Kakamega. It was Lugari, Malava Lugari branch, which comprises of from Malava to Likuyani. You know, this Lugari and Likuyani used to be Lugari.
Right.
So it was called Malava Lugari. So it was the whole of Malava, Lugari, and Likuyani. There were only 4 delegates required, and you campaign on other teachers. After you have been elected as delegates, you now choose a chairman. So a chairman was a very big person, because he was managing the affairs of that cooperative in that area, in all of that area. So me, I campaigned. I was elected as a delegate of this area, and after, when we sat 4 of us, they elected me as the chairman. So I was the chairman for quite some time, and I did very well in that branch. We were ranked among the best branches.
Right.
And through the politics of maybe vying for the positions of puppet or not, did you maybe advance now your politics to outside politics of the country? Did you ever venture into that?
Yes, I had a lot of interest in the politics, the national politics. I had really wanted to, in future, to vie as the MP of Lugari. The MP, not the MC. In those days we had councillors. But when this thing of MCA came in, I saw as if it was good, because an MCA is just like a member of parliament, but on the county level. Yeah, so when it came at first, people didn't know what it was, but when we learned about it, I planned that when it comes to the next time, I'll step down in teaching and go for it. So I started a bit early. I tried to be, I had really, this area, especially the Chekalini area, that's now where I had most of my students. So I was really talking to the parents and all that. They had known me, and I was very popular to them, because now the school like Chekalini was dying. All the students were coming to Shandike. So most parents, this side, I was very much familiar with them. And when I talked about it, everybody was saying, you qualify, that one you qualify. My wife supported the idea. My 2 children were saying, you are late. And you know, because they also joined teaching. They are feeling now we are so many teachers. We have put all our eggs in the one basket. Try politics. And it's like they were chasing me from teaching. They are not feeling, they want me to be out, and they remain there alone. So actually they supported me, and actually I became the member of County Assembly of Kakamega for Chekalini, representing Chekalini. That is the first time. Very good. Now I served them for 5 years. I did a lot of development, but I was trying to change a culture which was very hard, and it worked against me. This culture of handouts. And in fact, I see one of our member of parliament is also doing the same. I told him, if you do like that, these people, they are used to money.
They are not ready for that transformation.
But I still, that culture is because I had moved around. I know if you go to Central, it's not about money. It's about what you do to people. If you go to Rift Valley here, it's not about money. It's what you do to people. But Western here, we have made people believe that money.
Tokens.
And I could refuse them. No, money, no. But tell me something is wrong somewhere, I can't correct it. So maybe that one worked against me. People felt that I should be giving them money. And actually I didn't have money to give them, actually. That is very true. What you get there is not money you can start dishing to people.
Sure.
pesa kidogo. So in fact, as a principal, I was getting more money than what was in
As a member
yeah,
of county
yeah,
assembly.
yeah. So when it came to the second time, I didn't go through. I was number 2. The first person defeated me with 15 votes.
Just a handful.
A handful. In fact, people are telling me, go and appeal. So I was saying, even if it is one person, why are you appealing? Even if it is one person, he has defeated you.
Yeah.
Because how will you make yours? I said, let him serve. But I thanked the people of Chekalini because I was now I was at 58.
Right.
I left teaching at 52.
Okay, you resigned in
Earlier.
teaching.
I didn't resign.
You did not
When
resign?
you are at 50, you can retire.
Okay.
So I retired at 52. I get my pension. I got my lump sum and all that. So I'm just a retired person. I didn't resign.
Okay.
You apply for early retirement. When you are 50, they allow it.
Okay.
And you are given everything, all what you do. But they pay you according to the number of years you have taught.
Okay. And you've said that you tried the second time and it did not work. Do you still have maybe
The interest?
interest of maybe trying it another time?
No. People come. Other today, before you came here, there's a group of people who come here. You know, in politics, one, you might have interest. But secondly, people can push you. So you cannot say you have refused completely.
Yes.
But it depends on, you also look at what are the grounds.
It's a function of many variables.
Variables.
Yes.
I might not be willing,
Yes.
but people insist we want you to serve us.
Right.
You might not let them down. Just before you came, there's a team of people who have been here. They were asking me, tell us what's your plan, because the current MCA seems to be wants to go and vie to be senator. And he told people a long time ago that he will not vie again as MCA. People who have stood, who are showing interest, we don't see any serious person in them. You tell us, will you come back? I didn't want to commit myself, and you don't even refuse. What you simply tell them is, you go and do research. You try to see what do people say. So I told them, let us observe the situation up to December, then we can conclude. However, I'm satisfied. I served the people of Chekalini. I'm not bitter that they removed me. No, I thank them because they give. There are people who can look for this thing for years and they'll never get it.
And
but
you
me,
tried it just
I
once.
had,
Your first trial.
and I did it.
Okay.
On development, I did it very well.
Yes.
I can tell you, I'm the one who started the market at Chekalini. And all councillors and MCA on their campaign, they were saying, I'll start a market. They never started. I had brought their water. It's a water project.
Water reservoir. Further down.
Somewhere called a Brown Dam.
Yes.
The government assisted me, and we placed there over 100 million for water to be supplied in this area. We have another dam here, which we mobilized for funds, and we have water for irrigation. So people in Chekalini can plant boga trout. That market is there. Even the president has now put there his hand. They are building very good market in Chekalini. During that time, roads were very good. People appreciate that one. Kwa kazi nilifanya, lakini I was not giving money. And even if I go back, I'll not give money. Because I believe when you give somebody money, you are not helping the person. Just assist, bring the environment for people to work.
Or show the way.
Yeah, it's better.
Just create a conducive environment for them to thrive.
Yeah, to thrive.
Across various spheres of life.
But giving people money, I believe that's a very awkward way of managing people. Because you cheat them. You are bribing them to believe you are a good person when you are not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's actually, in a sense, you are doing that to manipulate their decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy the
Outcomes.
MP we have now
Right.
is working.
Yeah.
He's not for those things of handouts.
Yes.
I think he's also against it. But the first leaders we had, Jirongo, Akina Savula, they brought here a culture of money.
Yes,
culture.
yeah.
And people believed that an MP is the work of an MP to give people money, which is very wrong. Very wrong. Because you might end up stealing money to give them. Because where do you get this money? Can you satisfy people with the money?
No, you can't.
You can't. You can't.
No, you can't. Because the needs are too numerous and you can't satisfy them with that little you give. So maybe in accordance to the story you've told us in relation to education and back to politics, from the story we can see that there are some challenges that have been experienced in the stories, and we kindly want you to tell us those challenges maybe you faced in education, the challenges you've seen in politics. How were you able to handle them?
Yeah. First one, the education. When I was a deputy, there's a time at Mountuma, one of my principals died abruptly. And I had not been a deputy for long. I had just been there for some 8 years, 8 months. And then he died. He was called Chekalini. And he was not sick. In fact, he was to retire at 55.
Yeah.
So he had even carried some things from the school on a tractor to take off. He was coming from Lugusi. And then on Monday, when I was in school, I heard that one of the workers came telling me the principal died at night. Hey, what happened? Because he was not sick. He was just watching TV and he died. And that was a very big challenge to me because I think that is the heaviest funeral I've ever had. And after that, the school had been doing very well. After that, now they brought me a principal was a drunkard. And he spoiled the school. So the students went on strike. And when they went on strike, they were singing, the principal must go, and Indusa takes over. That thing brought me problems. I was almost in the dictate. That I'm inciting.
Yeah, inciting
students.
But you see, when people sing they want you, how do you stop them? And they're violent. How do you go?
Incitement is not the only reason for them to say that they have a preference.
So that one was a very big challenge. It almost cost me my job. And I was called, I was warned, but fortunately, they didn't demote me. They gave me to start a school.
Okay, the Shandicha school now. Okay.
But it was like people looked at me as if I'm inciting students against my boss, which was not the case. And to prove that, Mimi, I've worked with my deputies very well. You know, this teaching is just like you and maybe your parent or something like that. If you have a leader, your leader, even if he's a drunkard or what, if you insubordinate him, you'll also be insubordinated.
It
will come back to you. You just have to assist him. So that when I could assist him, but now people looked at it differently. When I'm doing that, is that I'm the right person to represent the school, not him. So they refused that man. So ndio wakanipea hii shule na wakaleta mwalimu mwingine huko na huyo wakamfukuza kabisa. So that one was a very big challenge. Why I proved to people that I didn't incite people to that nini. The 10 years I worked as a principal, I worked with the 2 deputies. One of them, in fact, she's the one who came to take over from me after when I was leaving. But I promoted her. She's the one who went to start Mayoyo Girls. I worked with her very well. That is Dina. And I'm the one who went to bring her from Maturu as nilimtafuta tu akuje kuwa my deputy.
Yes.
Now in subordination, she worked very well. The second one, when she left, I went to take another lady who is now the head of Angai Secondary School. It's called Karani. I worked with them very well. If I had insubordinated that teacher, these deputies could have insubordinated me. I could have also had. You see like I want to give an example, like what Ruto did to Uhuru. Even if Uhuru was bad, it will hound him. somebody else will do the same to him,
you.
even worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do to your senior, when you are taken like a deputy, you are supposed to assist your your senior has weakness, you assist him.
You have to fix.
So when you fix it, if you don't do it, instead you subordinate, when you get that position, the same thing will be done to you. Inakuwa kama that person has cast it.
Yeah.
Ndio mimi I believe this leadership sometimes is given by God.
Sure.
Sasa when you insubordinate it, Mungu pia anakulipa. Anakulipa. Sasa huyu kama Ruto anakula tu kiburi yake.
Yeah.
And in fact when he chose Rigathi, we knew Rigathi will do it worse than what he did to na Rigathi vile unamuona tu hivi, hata yeye pia akipata uongozi atapata tena mtu wa kumwafanyia tuko kama hivi. So when you are doing it, know that it will come back to you.
And maybe for the short time you've been in politics, have you had those little challenges here and there?
In politics, my challenge was just that thing of handouts. I was against it, and people wanted it.
Okay.
I didn't have the money to give them.
Yeah.
But as a job, I like what I did. Even as a principal or as a principal, Shandiche, I was satisfied with the work I did there. As an MCA, kazi tu ya kufanya tu as representing my people and making sure things are working very well, I was satisfied with what I did. Even if I didn't go through the second time, I'm very proud of what I did. Even when I walk there, I just feel I did the best. Because people still believe that they made a mistake to remove me. So when they do that, I feel kumbe they can now see I did for them the way better.
So do we term that maybe the achievements you've made in education, the achievements you've done in politics? You've told us that you started the Chekalini market. You enabled the people of Chekalini, they can plant their vegetables anytime because there is what is facilitating them in that. Do you term that as a legacy? And is there any other more that you feel like you've done which is a legacy as a retired principal?
Yeah, it's a legacy because when people talk of that market, the legacy, the first one from the school. I'm the founder, the first principal of that school.
Yes.
And it's doing very well. Inasonga vizuri.
Yes.
You know, when you start something and you see it moving,
It's thriving.
you feel good.
Satisfying.
Chekalini, when I pass there, when people are on a market day, that's the days we chose, a Tuesday and Saturday.
Yes.
And I see people are able to, they're on the business.
Yes.
I feel so satisfied. I see it's a legacy. The water we started, people having tap water in their houses, in their homes, which was not there. We brought machine. You remember that the time of the time we had Corona.
Yes. In 2020.
Yes, and there is one of the waziri wa Kakamega died of Corona. Alikuwa chief of staff or the one chief of staff. He had gone to hiyo Corona. It was because of the machine which came here. Walienda hii nchi ambayo tulikuwa na Corona mingi hii ya Catholic hii inaitwanga namna gani? Brazil. No, not Italy. And I think that's where he got that. And he had gone to bring that machine. The machine is very good. When water comes out, it's very clean. It purifies itself. It does everything. That water goes through it. When it comes out, it's very neat. Very good. So that is now, they had gone to bring that machine. That's where they got the Corona. And it was something of quite good money. A lot of money. If you see the thing, you will see it was a big project.
Yes.
If you go to around Chekalini, you'll see a very big tank. A tank which is over 4,400. It's just like if you have been in Kakamega near, if you have gone through this route which goes through the offices.
Right.
You know those big tanks.
Those big tanks.
There's a big tank like that one at Chekalini. A very big one.
Thousands of cubic meters of water.
4,000 or 400,000 or something like that. It's a very big thing.
Yes.
400,000.
It should be 400. A very big one. Something like this house. And when I look at it, I feel in the short time, there is something I can show I did to these people.
Right.
And I believe during that time, there are some rules which had never been made, but we tried to make it.
Right.
Because they are passable. They are passable now.
You have had a very long, a long time in the education system, both as a teacher and as an administrator, serving the position of a principal. You are at a vantage position where you are able to see the systems that are in place and the structures and how they work, some which are very efficient and some which may not be. What would you say from that position, that the systems and the structures that are in place as far as our education system goes, which ones would you, which ones would you propose that this should be preserved, and in the process of change and constant advancements, which ones would you maybe propose that they could receive some little changes and adjustments?
The structure of education, and I'll talk about the structures of education and maybe general management of schools.
Right.
Kwanza, I want to say one of the best things which we did in Kenya came during the Kibaki time.
Right.
When we started getting some little money per student in a school, not only depending on the fees of parents.
Right.
That one made many schools survive. Even me at Shandiche, my school really benefited from that, because so long as you had students,
Right.
they don't say this student got, this is a clever student, this, all are getting the same amount.
Yes.
So you find the schools are treated equally, children are treated equally, money goes to school. So if that money is just used very well and is brought to schools in a good time, schools can move on. In fact, in Kenya, sometimes we just misuse money, but if that money is just brought in school in good time,
Right.
and then maybe they add just something small, parents might not need to pay fees. They might not need to pay fees. So now, previously we could, if you wanted to build a classroom in school, it was a must parents to contribute, maybe PTA 1,000 shillings per parent or per student, so that you build. It could take, parents were really coughing into their pocket.
Right.
But right now, if you check, the schools are being built by the government.
Right.
From the per capita money which goes to school,
Yes.
there is money for construction of classes, there's money for books, there's money for salaries of workers and all that. The only problem with it, sometimes the money is delayed. So you find the school is going into debts and all that. But if that money can just come to school in time, by the time I was leaving, they were giving 22,000 per student per year. And during our time, Kenyatta time, I think I left when Kenyatta was the president.
President.
I think money was coming. They were bringing almost everything. 22,000 was coming. And like me, I had around 800 students. So if you can count 22,000 by 800, it's quite a lot of money. I could sometimes have even 20 million on account of the school.
Yes.
That money, if you use very well, although they said it was not for feeding. So I was just thinking, if they could just be adding something like maybe 1,000 shillings for feeding, or 2,000, there was no need for parents to pay anything. There was no need for parents to pay anything. But sometimes, even if you put 50, you'll find pesa hiyo imekuwa kidogo tena. People don't know how to, then management of that money becomes, kila mtu anataka kukula ndani. Corruption. After this one, you see, like right now, what I hear is that apart from that money reaching the school,
yes,
some of it is diverted to education office. Education officers are the ones who manage them for maybe games and all that. But when they go to games, schools are also supposed to chip in. Which means this money now becomes the officers' money, not for students. It's not reaching on the child. So that is the only thing which goes. But if people can just work very well. I'm talking that because if you look at this, even if you have been listening to news about management of CDF and how MPs are managing their areas, you've known this guy called Dindi Nyoro.
In Kiharu,
Yes. He's doing things which people cannot believe. Because he's using that money for the work of those people. But how way to everybody wants to snatch something from it. You are an MP, and you want to be the one building the classrooms. So you give yourself more money. You have interest, and you are the one managing the money. So you can even build something and say the cost of the labor is, you give yourself more money. You inflate it, something like that. But in Nyoro, your pesa is using it very well. But other MPs were wondering why he's doing that, even in schools.
Yes.
Why? How is he doing that? Because they are wondering how he's doing it. But because he was trying to explain here, and he said it's just
he's trying to make the chain efficient from the suppliers to the contractors.
Yeah. If you just plan very well, it is just enough money. So you could have even 20 million in account. Yes. This 20 million, if you just use it well, even if they could have said parents not to pay, I could still feed students on that money. It could just be enough. But people sometimes, and it's the same with most of the heads, everybody who is managing somewhere wants to get something from it. That's now where we bring problems. Otherwise, in Kenya, we can have free education by just adding something small on what we are having as per capita. And managing efficiently. And then just know, this one is boarding, this one is day. So you don't put it equal. Because boarding, it will require slightly more, and day will require slightly less. Because they eat their breakfast and supper and all that. And maybe some other working, like that. So I believe that was a very good thing, but it's only that corruption is causing things not to work very well. Corruption and mismanagement of the funds. Number 2 is about the systems we have. I worked mostly in the biggest part I worked was in the 844 system. You see, when I started 1989 teaching, that's when the 844. But now the new system which came with CBC, from what I look at it, it is the best education we need to have as well. Reason, where we have reached, we need to train people according to what they'll use.
To their orientation.
Yes. And everybody has something. God has created with at least something. There's nobody who has completely nothing. Right. There is somebody you can train to be a cleaner and be a very good cleaner.
Just be the best.
The best.
Right.
You don't need maths. You don't need maths. You don't need even English. You can clean in a mother tongue.
Right.
So this education, it is catering for everybody. The one they have brought, the CBC. It's only that people waliweka ndani siasa kidogo. And zaidi walimu wenyewe. And people, also what I learned is that, you see, when 844 came, people who were in the old system were the ones who were professors and all that.
Right.
They still believed that the education was the best. When CBC came, those managing education now who are in the system are the 844. They still believe that 844 was the best. They still want to be seeing people getting A, getting B. But now, the current education where huyu mtoto ukijua, he can do very well in football. We train him towards football.
Right.
If he can slash very well, we train him towards slashing. And it will also help this idea of this thing of talking about kazi. Serikali hajanipea kazi. Me, I've been in some other countries. Nimetembea kuangalia tu masomo ya Uganda, ya Tanzania, ya Rwanda. Nimetembea hizo countries. And on education tours.
Right.
And what I've seen, Uganda, as much as they are still behind in so many things, political and all that.
Right.
But people don't learn in Uganda thinking that the government will give them a job. Watoto, they don't look for jobs from the government. Mtoto is still anasoma kujua the environment. But mwenye anajua kitu anaenda kufanya after school. People don't struggle for the government to give them a job. But you think of what you do.
Right.
So, mimi naona Kenya tunakazana sana kusema tunatafutia watoto kazi nini. But when we train people, I'm training you to be a plumber, you be a very good plumber. You are a plumber. You don't need to wait for the government to
employ you.
You can't, yeah. If you are a good if you are veterinary. Mi naona hapo you can look for somebody for AI. Unapata ako mbali sana. We need so many of them. Things like hata ng'ombe ni mgonjwa. Because that one you don't need to have a very serious certificate. When you are trained on how to treat ng'ombe, you simply start your agrovet there, and then from there, when any service of the cow, you can do it. Yeah. You don't need to get a job. And we have some people who are here right now, whom I give as an example of. They graduated, they weren't even up to university, but they have never worked. But they are doing better than people who have worked because of they just use the knowledge they got and they have moved with it. So the CBC system, I really support it. It is the best. 844 was good, but it became also theoretical. But vile ilianza it was practical. Lakini ikafika mahali. Unakumbuka wakati nafikiri nyinyi mlikuwa watu wa 844, si ndio? Maybe ile siku za kwanza mlikuwa hamjaanza, lakini nilikuwa walianza na vitu hata kujenga manyumba za nyanzi hata nini. Yes, vitu kama hiyo. So there, but people came and agriculture hii. Yes. Mimi I really like the practical people used to do. Watoto wanapandaka vitu, naona vile wanafanya, wakijifunza kupanda vitu, something like that. That was very good. But now it became very much theoretical. People are seeing exams. Hata hii CBC, from what I've heard, mitihani imeanza kuja ndani tena. So it will not be what they had originally.
It was envisioned before.
They have already started bringing in mitihani. Na hiyo ni kwa sababu tu the people who are in the system, they always think that what they did is the best. Maybe alipata na vile alishangiliwa anataka tena mtu mwingine apate nini?
As a hallmark of success.
I used to be number one. When you are number one, you feel good. What we want is for people to know things, not for people to pass others. When you know how to do something, it is the best.
Yeah, the emphasis should be the technical know-how. Yeah, the what and the how.
So thank you very much for that.
Maybe now, also on that one, maybe on retirement, because I've been retired. I'm in retirement, and I think I'm just happy about it. When you retire, the little money you've been getting, it might not be the same as what we get now. It depends on what I can just say that sometimes what makes us pulls us down is bills. When you get bills which you are supposed to pay and you are not getting a lot of money. When I talk of bills, I want to say things like water. If you have water bills, like me, I don't. We have water which we don't pay anything, and but you'll see water is flowing in the taps. We have e-system. In solar.
Solar.
I don't pay bills for steamer. In solar, and it does everything for TV, for fridge, for everything. Just using around the 250,000 is working.
Yes.
Maji napambiwa, you come to my taps, you shower without any problem. You can heat using this. Natumia this natural sun.
Source of energy.
So when people are paying, even the 2,000 you pay for steamer, if I can avoid it, I'll stay better life than when you are paying.
When you have to pay it for you to access the same service.
I don't use gas. Sinunui gas ya kupiga hii. Mimi natumia masamaki. Natengeneza biogas. Mwenyewe natumia. I don't buy mboga. I make sure that I have my own mboga. So even if you don't have money, nobody can know you don't have money. So the little you have, kama una kagari unaweka mafuta unaenda kutembea kwa watu kuoneka kidogo unarudi nyumbani.
Right.
Unanunua gazeti kama those days of gazeti you could buy, but right now you simply read on in the phone and it is over.
Right.
So what I'm saying that retired people, you try to minimize the expenses by using what you can, avoiding some expenses you can avoid. Mimi, I don't buy gas. I don't look for firewood. We use even gas for cooking beans. And nobody can complain because hiyo gas hata ikipunguka kidogo, unawacha tu kidogo tena inakuja ndani. So it is not something which can end. Something like that. So you just need two animals and you start having your own gas.
I think I really like. I'm really encouraged. I really like how strategic you are. You are thinking sustainability.
Sustainability.
You know, right from the solar innovation to the biogas, naturally and readily available resource. Yeah.
And then you stay your life. Just stay your life. You don't put yourself very high. Make sure you maintain yourself in the class which is good. So naona sasa kitu kama hata miti nikiwa nayo saa hii.
Right.
Firewood is not an issue to me. Kununua gas is not an issue. And so huwezi kupata tunasumbuka tumekosa gas, tumekosa stima, umekuja kukata stima manini hapa. But maybe in my rental houses zile watu wanalipa hizo. But you see those ones mtu analipa mwenyewe. Na unamweka ile kama una pesa usilipe, lakini ukiweka si kama simu, ukiweka unafanya nini? So that is the thing. So huwezi kusema hiyo na hiyo utafanya namna gani, because actually I have rental houses but whoever is there yeye ndiye ana manage this mwenyewe.
So maybe if we wind up this interview that has been so interesting, maybe there is a teacher somewhere there, outside there, is looking forward to being a leader. From your story, what can you advise that teacher who's thriving that maybe one day he or she wants to be a leader?
Teaching is a very good job. I've never regretted why I became a teacher because generally, people usually want too much, but me, I want to say I've stayed well. I was a teacher, my wife was a teacher. And that's why maybe my children also wanted to be teachers. And they have become teachers. They are married. The girl is married to a teacher, the mother to this boy. My son has also married a teacher. They are all teachers. And you cannot lack when you're a teacher. Because you can take a loan. You can teach at your home, in your home. And then you can do other things apart from that teaching and still survive. But there are some other jobs which can really hold you such that you cannot be able to do other things.
They take so much of your time.
They take most of your time. It might look like it has a lot of money, but you don't have even time to be with your family.
You don't have time with yourself.
You don't have family to do some things at your home.
Right.
So such people, when they retire, they suffer more.
The transition is very rough.
But a teacher, when you retire, it's nothing.
It's a life you've been living every day.
In fact, you just improve on what you have been doing. Unaendelea vizuri. So teaching is good, and when you teach very well, yani usiweke ukora ndani, hata vitu unafanya vinafanikiwa. Ukinunua ng'ombe kanazaa kanakuwa kazuri, unapata maziwa. Lakini ukifanya ukora, hata hiyo pesa ukinunua ng'ombe
inaharibika.
Ukinunua kuku anakufa because you are stealing. Wewe ukienda ufanye tu kazi vizuri, unaona watu unajua ukipata hii pesa nilifanyia kazi. Like hiyo pesa ukitumia inasaidia hata watoto wako wasomeshia wanafanya vizuri. Lakini ukifanya ukora nayo ndio inaletanga mikosi mingi. But me, I want to say I've been successful. I'm happy. I'm now 61 years old. And I thank God for all what I've done. I cannot say nimekaa vibaya sana. Nimejaribu. What I have, I don't think I'll become a problem to my children. Wenyewe wakitaka wanipeleke tu, but I can also assist them. Because already the two children I have, I've given them what they could inherit from me here. No, each one of them I've given, the girl I've given 1 acre, the boy 1 acre to continue with it because my father gave me half an acre. Mimi I've given them an acre and an acre. Sasa nimewambia hii imebaki ni yangu na mama. Lakini mkitulinda vizuri mtagawana tukitoka hapo. Msipotulinda vizuri tunauza. But I cannot bother them. Nikiona nimefinyika, I can sell a plot and use it.
Yeah.
But if they take care of me, whatever I have is theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you cannot see me disturbing them or saidia mimi hapana. Because what we have with Mama is a secondary school principal also. She's retiring next year.
Wow.
She's now 59. It's the age limit of your father.
Yes.
She's retiring next. She's the school, this I call Mamba Secondary School. Mamba is after, if you know Jirongo's home.
Yes.
Just there. Tena she started.
Okay.
She started, it's now a big school.
Okay.
So that's how we are.
Okay, thank you very much for that story.
So I've said teaching is good. My advice to people, teaching is good so long as you are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much, Mwalimu, for that. We appreciate, and I want to take this time to also appreciate our viewers for your time, for having listened to us, to this powerful story journey of our retired principal that has given us a chance to learn one or two things together. The story that has enabled us to connect as a community, a story that has enabled us also to have another thought and to see teaching from a very positive perspective of it. I want to thank you for your time, and as I conclude, I want to tell all of you that let us always believe in ourselves, and let us always have that urge to thrive in this life, and together we shall have a true story to tell to someone another day that can encourage us or another. Up to now, I want to thank you. See you next time.